Hello, Lettuce Heads. This is Charlotte from the Lettuce Podcast. I'm going to be doing my vlog about Game of Thrones, and the episode we're going to be talking about is Kill the Boy. This episode opens up with Grey Worm and Missandei, and Missandei's basically just like looking over Grey Worm, but he looks alive, he looks like he's recovering, so that's all well and good. Glad he's alive. Then we come on a slightly less happy note is Daenerys is looking at Sir Barristan's corpse, and, she's basically furious that he's dead. And, basically her decision is to round up all the, heads of the houses, families, and round up the leaders and take them all into custody. And this includes Histozo Lorak, who has been on her council. She brings them all to the dragons and roasts one and gives them a little roasted human snack. They seem to enjoy it. They eat them. She's basically scare tacting all the other heads of the families, and Histozo Lorak actually is sort of like Bala Magrules. Like, he's sort of badass. He's standing up for himself. And then she's sort of like, listen, I don't want to overfeed them, but, there's always tomorrow. She's sort of power hungry, a little crazy, a little mad king-ish. So, whatever. It's a little interesting. Then we go to the wall with Sam and Maester Aemon, and he's basically reading about what's going on with Daenerys, and Aemon seems very upset. He's just like, I'm her last relation, and I'm so far away, I can't help her, I'm part of the Night's Watch. And he's like, a Targaryen alone in the world is just a terrible thing. And, your heart reaches out to him because he's never been able to really help his family. He's stayed with the Night Watch, and he's seen all this, power struggle and all of that, and see his family members killed. It's just horrible. And so I think he really wants to see Daenerys succeed. He is a Targaryen. So I hope he's going to be able to see that, because I'd like that. Jon Snow asks Maester Aemon for advice, and Master Aemon's like, you don't even need my advice, you're going to do what you need to do, kill the boy, be a man, blah, blah, blah. So that's what Jon Snow does. He goes and talks to Tormund, and Tormund is all like, why should I trust you? I'm still in shackles. And he takes him out. He's like, listen, I want to make peace. Let's do this. So they do. He basically says, I need some ships. I need you. And we're going to go save the wildlings, and we're going to help you with the White Walkers, because I'd rather help you with the White Walkers than be one, And that's I think that's a good stance to have. I would probably not want to be a White Walker myself. So, good stance, Tormund. Then, Jon talks with the Night Watch, and they go crazy. They're like, listen, I would follow you anywhere, but this is the one place I wouldn't. And, even Ollie is upset. He's like, they killed my family, they killed my village, and, why would we want to trust them? Is this a trap? And Jon's like, no, this needs to happen. We need to be safe. This is the best position for us as the Night's Watch. And, Ollie's not happy, but not many people are with Jon's decision, but I think it's the right one. I really do. So basically then we jump to Brienne and Pod, and Brienne talks to one of the men of the North, and she's like, can you get Sansa a message? And he's like, yes. There's a little more to it, but basically Brienne sending Sansa a message through this man who is still a Northerner at heart. Then we go to Winterfell, and Ramsay and Miranda, they're sort of crazy. Miranda's jealous, and he's just like, listen, jealousy is boring to me. Don't be boring. You know what happens when I find people boring, aka kill them. So, Miranda bites his lip and have angry sex. Great. Sansa gets her message. She's like, light a candle in the highest window of the broken tower, and, you're not alone. So, I mean, that's a great message to have. I'd be thankful to get a message like that if I was in Sansa's position with these crazy, crazy Boltons. Miranda finds Sansa looking at the tower, and then, you know, she's sort of creepy. She's like, oh, what wonderful, you know, fabric. Can I touch it? You know, she's talking about her dress, and it's really creepy. And then Miranda's like, oh, I forgot. I wanted to show you something. And she takes her to the kennels where Reek is. And, you know, when Sansa sees Reek, she just like freaks out, and Reek's like, you shouldn't be here, and he like curls up in his ball and all that stuff. And then what's crazy is Ramsay notices immediately that Reek has something that he's hiding, and he's like, don't hurt me, please. And Ramsay basically is like, I'll forgive you, it's okay. And he, like, I don't know, scoring some brownie points with Reek, I don't know. Then they all go to dinner. Sansa, Ramsay, Roose Bolton, and Walda. Lovely, right? Except not, because Reek shows up to fill their glasses. Ramsay's just so crazy with Reek, and he basically makes Reek apologize to Sansa for killing her brothers. And, you know, Ramsay says, like, even the North remembers, and it's like, you should not be able to say that. You are part of the family that is responsible for killing Sansa's brother Robb, his wife, and Catelyn. Come on. It's this, like, it's ridiculous. The fact that he says that's just, like, nutso. You know, Ramsay then says, oh, Reek, you're gonna walk Sansa's down the aisle because you're basically the next of kin, since all of her family's dead. It's like, Ramsay, Reek, Sansa, I feel bad for them. Then Roose Bolton basically bitch slaps Ramsay by like, hey, me and Walda are pregnant. And the maester says it looks like it's going to be a son, just by how the baby's sitting or something. So, a little crazy. Ramsay clearly doesn't like this, and he's just like, you know, I know, I don't know. He's just like, I know where I'm in my position. You know, I might be your son now, but, you know, I was bastard before. And, you know, to Roose's credit, he's like, he tells Ramsay the story of his mom. He's like, I was going to kill you and your mother when your mother said you were mine, but when I saw you, he's like, you were mine then, you are mine now. You are my son. And it's just like, well, yeah, okay. Sort of a Stannis moment with Shireen, except way less awesome because these people suck. You know, it is what it is. They also really reveal that Roose knows about Stannis, and he asks Ramsay to help him fight and protect the North because it's theirs. Not. Gilly and Sam end up being in the library. They're at the wall again, and basically, it's just a Sam and Gilly moment. She's saying how she doesn't know a lot of stuff, and Sam's like, I wish I could have been a maester. That's what he originally wanted to be. And then Stannis walks in and talks to Sam. He's like, you're Samwell Tarly. Your father defeated Robert in Ashford. And Stannis shows a lot of respect for Sam's father, and even for Sam. You know, he's like, you killed a White Walker? How'd you do it? And Sam's like, yeah, with dragonglass. And they sort of talk about that, and, you know, how they need to prepare, and he's just like, keep on reading, Samwell Tarly. And, you know, he clearly is supporting all of the people around Jon Snow. It's really awesome to see, because Stannis is sort of awesome now. Stannis is basically going to be marching on Winterfell now, and we literally see them leave, and right before they leave, Jon Snow comes up to him, and he's like, have a safe journey, Your Grace, and thank you. You know, that was a good moment between them, because, you know, Stannis didn't need to help him. He didn't need to take him under his wing and give him this advice, and especially when Jon Snow turned down his offer, I might have been a little bit more of an asshole. Then we go back to Meereen with Missandei and Grey Worm. They kiss. Really not believable. I mean, come on. Grey Worm doesn't have man parts, and Missandei is a child in the book, so really just not... No, it's not a relationship to me. It's boring and not believable. So, hopefully one of them isn't there for much longer. I feel sort of bad. Everyone's dropping like flies, but I really just don't care about them. Daenerys asks Missandei for advice, and she's just like, listen, you're the one who can see a choice that not everyone else sees, and You know, you should just keep on doing that. You don't always listen, but you do make good choices. And it's like, no, you don't. You are headstrong and stubborn, and you don't make good choices. So basically we see Daenerys go to Histar Zolorak's cell, and she's like, listen, you know, it took courage to admit your fear of the dragons. And she's like, I was wrong about the fighting pits. Let's reopen them. No slaves though, only free men. And basically she's like, I'm going to forge a lasting bond and marry a leader of a high-ranking family. And he like looks at her, and she's like, thankfully a suitor's already on his knees. And obviously that's Histar Zolorak, so, you know, she's gonna marry him. Whatever. I'm not a big fan of Histar, and hope it doesn't work out. That's all I'm gonna say. Then we move to our last scene with Tyrion and Jorah, and Tyrion says something sort of funny about Jorah. He's like, long sullen silences, an occasional punch in the face, the Mormont way. Sort of cute. And then they arrive at Valyria, the ancestral homeland of the Targaryens, and basically they see Drogon fly above them, and all of a sudden snowmen are on them. They both say that they weren't touched. Tyrion actually got dragged into the water and touched. I'm not sure if it needs to touch your skin or not, but it was a little sketch. So, you know, then the last scene they see Jorah looking at his arm with grayscale on it, and so he will be a stone man. Well, that's all we have for today, and I hope you really enjoyed it. All of the information will be below. Check it out. I hope you guys really enjoyed this little vlog, and I'll see you guys later. Bye!